Doesn't really matter. Hey, well, that piece of music gets you going, doesn't it? At 9:30 on a Monday morning, especially
Absolutely.
when we put the clocks back. So anyway, you feeling bright and breezy this morning?
Absolutely. And it's quite nice actually to think about something that's positive on a Monday morning when you look out the window and you go, how did I sleep because of the clock change? Why is it so grey and disgusting? Yeah, exactly. And here I am going to talk about something lovely.
Yeah, and that's the most brilliant bit, isn't it? I mean, you look at the mirror, I don't know about you, but I look in the mirror at 8:30 or whatever and go, oh my goodness, we've got to talk about being fabulous and showing up. But that's what we've done. We've shown up. We're here. And despite everything, we are absolutely here. So, Philippa, what does showing up in midlife, like both of you and I are, what does that mean to you? How do you think we should address it? Because I think people out there, you can lose your mojo, can't you, when we get to a certain age and you think, let's see.
Yeah.
So what's your take on it?
It is really a question of thinking about it in a different way and reframing it. It's not, oh, I'm so old. It's going, oh, I've got so much experience that I get to do this. I get to help. I get to share. It's not a limitation. I mean, there is that cliche, age is just a number, which I do espouse, but it really can be if you put it into, I've got a lot to give to the world and I'm jolly well going to do it, because that's such an asset in business. I mean, if you remember back in the day when you first got your very first job, the people that were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, like me, they were the font of all knowledge, and they owned it. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to own my life experience. I'm going to learn from other people, but I'm going to share, what I've learned, because we all fail forward. So let's help other people shortcut that route by going, you could try that, but in my experience, this little tiny tweak is going to help you get there faster. And you get more comfortable in your skin, because then you can be more authentic and people listen. You're not trying to be some automaton or speaking out of a self-help book. It's you. It's a real person speaking. So that's me. It's reframing it as a positive, not as a hindrance.
Absolutely. And I think in a nutshell, what you're saying there is we have to use our wisdom that we have gained over all these years and use our wisdom in a way that's going to be beneficial for us, and for other people too. And You said back in our day, well, do you remember, I don't know about your mother, but definitely my grandmother, but I think my mother as well, at a particular time, you sort of changed what you wore when you became a certain age. And I think some people, when they're going out networking, we're networking with 20, 30, 40-year-olds, and we're, a good 20 years older than that. And it's sort of what I wear, because you don't want what my grandmother used to say as looking mutton dressed up as lamb. Now, I was a stylist for 12 years, and believe you me, I do not believe that at all. But I think you have to work on it. I do think it's something you have to learn, especially when we're going out networking to talk to other people or train other people, is you have to feel great in the clothes you're wearing. You can't go out having looked in the mirror and gone, oh, I look like, you've got to have looked in the mirror and go, yes, I've got this nailed. So it is about becoming comfortable in your skin, but becoming comfortable in your clothes and owning what you're wearing, because that's your style. And I don't know about you, but over the years, we've spent a lot of money working out what doesn't suit us with mistakes. And now we should be at that perfect age where we know that wearing, I don't know, flouncy things does not suit me. I can't do bows that are in fashion at the moment. Bows and neckline things, looking pretty, I cannot do that. I can't do puffy sleeves. And so I know that, so I don't wear them, but I know what does suit me. And I think that's really important when you're going out physically to networking, but also having the confidence, as you said, about being who you are and what you have been through, because all our experiences are valuable and they've got us to where we are today. And as you say, we should share those tips, because it is so important to walk into a room being body confident, clothes confident, and knowing that you have got, if nothing else, more wisdom than those people in the room.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember I had a PR job, and it was in an organization that was about well-being and beauty, and the dress code was black, white, and tan tights, American tan tights.
Yes.
I don't suit black. I look like a wrath of God. And I spent 18 months miserable. Many reasons, but most of them was I looked in the mirror every morning and was like, oh my word.
I know. And I did it. I put a post out the other day, actually, about when I was a nurse. I was a nurse specialist and I had to wear white, and white doesn't look good on me. But I was working a lot with the patients and the relatives. So I made this a decision and asked the powers be, could I stop being in uniform and wear my own clothes? And they said, yeah, that's fine. I think that's a really good idea, as did I. Until I had, I was a nurse specialist over about 3 hospitals. And I went to one hospital one day, went to a ward round. There were consultants, doctors, and I arrived at the ward knowing my patients. So when they were doing the ward round, and I said, oh, Mrs. Thing, blah, 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 blah. And this consultant turned to me and he said, who the are you? Because I know this was back in the day. I mean, we're talking 1980s here. So they were very abrupt and they weren't overly, each one of them were lovely, don't get me wrong. But anyway, I worked out it was because if they had seen me in my nurse specialist uniform, then they understood who I was, what I stood for, and how I could help. Turning up in my own clothes didn't give me that authority. He could have looked at me, but he didn't look at that. So I had to explain myself. And actually, that's what we have to do when we go networking. It is nice if you can look your part. Otherwise, you have to use a lot of words to explain who you are, what you stand for, and how you help. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And it's not apologizing for your age. It's what you wear. I mean, I'm thinking, the whole elasticated waist and dull colors or black till your eyes bubble. Yes, you can look very chic. You can also look like me and look like you're very, very ill on that side.
A lot older and a lot more wrinkled than you actually are, because it doesn't
not going to do that. And I think that also comes across in your digital presence. It is showing up and it's sharing your experiences. It's that thought leadership piece. Because, you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt and had to throw the T-shirt away and try a different one on and then get another one. That's something you can share. And if you're curious about the area that you're working on, and hopefully you are, because that's why you're in that area of business, you will have explored lots of things sort of around that topic. So you can share that wisdom. Because when it comes to showing up digitally, it's about consistency and adding value. And I hate listening to the videos and the lives that I do. I don't mind doing them. Happy to do. I love training people. I like talking.
Can I just
don't
check?
Want to listen to.
Can I just check? You said lives, not lies.
Yes, lives.
Lives.
Lives. Yes. But I don't want to listen to them again. But I'm really happy to do them. And if I'm sharing something that is of value, then it's worth me getting over the slight embarrassment that I have in what I sound like and what I look like. That's it's just not worth the pain of not doing it. And it makes a personal connection. And I think that's really important, is to have that, here I am. If you like what I'm saying and what I'm all about, happy days. And if I don't, hit the switch, hit the spot for you. Happy days, you've had a look, find somebody else that resonates with you. And that's really important, to actually make sure that you are showing up and adding value. And that's how people get to know you.
And you're absolutely right. We don't have to listen back to our videos. If I record a video and I know I didn't make a major booper, then I'll put it out there and not worry about it. Because if I look at it, then I'm going to start nitpicking myself. And that's not good. That is not good. And I think this is where we start comparing ourselves to other people and going, oh, well, they can do that so much better. They sound so much better. They look so much better, blah, 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 blah. And in today's world, we sort of call that imposter syndrome, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, we have value to add, hello, everyone that's listening to us now. Hello, Kate. It's important to keep showing up and to engage with people, because they may forget about you. I mean, how they can forget about us, I have no idea. But, there is so much information that comes at you and so many new things that you do need to keep showing up. But I think imposter syndrome is well, I've yet to meet someone that says, oh, yeah, I've never doubted myself. I've never doubted my value. So what's your take on that?
Well, for me, imposter syndrome, like you said earlier, it needs to be reframed. Because on the whole, when we get imposter syndrome, it's not about somebody or to somebody who we don't like and we don't like what they're doing. We never get it then. We only get it when they're doing something that we want to do, or they do it we perceive better than us. But we should say, quite often people get imposter syndrome when they've suddenly got a new job or they've been promoted. They go, oh, I don't deserve this. But it's because you've got out of your comfort zone and you're doing something amazing. So always, always, always going to be people who are further ahead than you. So you can always look at them and sort of be jealous because I'd like to be there. But that's not the point. I am who I am today, and I'm helping those people who aren't where I am yet. So I don't have to look at those people who are further ahead than me. So imposter syndrome is everywhere. I mean, everybody says they have it, and we do. We do feel, oh, I'm not as good as them, but we just have to put blinkers on and go, no, because I am better or doing more than I was a week ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. 10 years ago. Oh my God, look where I've come in 10 years. That's amazing. I started doing personal brand with people 8 years ago. So when I go where I was 10 years, it's not a different person, but it's a completely more powerful me than I was back then. And to me, imposter syndrome, well, I'm a medical. So for me, a syndrome is something that's genetically wrong. And imposter syndrome is not a syndrome. It's just a thought. It is a thought that we have that we're not as good as other people. You can have that all the time. The good thing is to reframe it and go, I have only got imposter syndrome because I think I would like to be where they are. Or you've got yourself out of your comfort zone. And being out of your comfort zone is always a place to grow. But it's never comfortable.
Yeah.
Always uncomfortable.
No. Absolutely. And I think it's that self-awareness piece that you go, I'm on chapter 10. This person that I'm thinking, oh, I'm never going to be as good as that, is on chapter 19. But I'm talking to people in chapters 1 to 9 and being inspired by people in chapters 11 onwards. And you don't have to be, but it's a much more powerful and self-affirming and belief in yourself that you can communicate, dress, act, share authentically. So what does self-awareness and visibility sort of package up for you?
I think self-awareness is understanding our own wisdom. And we've talked all this time, all our stories that we've got, all our history that we've got. It is just so incredibly important to find a way to put that over and to put it over memorably. And that is usually through consistency and clarity. If you don't have clarity and you don't have consistency, you can't really be visible because people don't understand they're seeing the same thing all the time. If I came every time with a different backdrop and put a wig on, then they wouldn't know that was me. So I'd have no visibility as me because people would not understand I was. So it's all about how you communicate who you are. And that has to be done with confidence, clarity, and consistency. And that is the only way to be visible when you're showing up. Which is why we show up at 9:30 on a Monday morning with the same backgrounds, both of us going, why are we doing this at 9:30 on a Monday morning?
and it is that whole visibility and invisibility. You don't want to be invisible, but you might not particularly be comfortable with being visible. But if you start small, and I'm a great believer in making small changes consistently, and just commit to doing a LinkedIn post every day, every other day, every third day, it doesn't really matter, but consistently do it. Do a video, you know, if there's a why in the days, you know, whatever it happens to be, that you can say to yourself, I'm just going to do this. And if you don't like it, don't load it up. You know, but bear in mind the amount of people that will see it is quite small. So you've got to be bad in order to be good. And you've got to be good in order to be excellent. So just do that. But building a support network of other midlife business women is invaluable, because you get people that you click with instantly. You get other people that you're inspired by. You get other people that you can help. And the more you learn, the more you grow, the more comfortable you are in your own skin, and the more you show up. And it's a self-fulfilling attitude, because confidence comes by taking action. And taking action, something small, that's it. And remember, I hate to say this, it is a journey. It is a process. So, So
I think my
my
biggest tip for people when you get to our age, if you haven't had things like your colour and your style done, then to me that's incredibly important, because it does make you feel and look better. And when you are looking and feeling better, you're more likely to be confident showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I say, you know, feel better, do more. Happy days.
Happy days. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Listen, I hope you have a brilliant rest of week, as everybody else out there. I hope the sun shines and you have a great time. Here's to being persistently consistent, said Kate. Oh, that's great.
Love it.
Thanks, Kate. Thanks for being here. You take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.